city. Any city you go to in America and around the world, you see the so-called descendants of the slave trade. We are living in the worst conditions anywhere around the world you find us. Cursed shalt thou be, and cursed shalt thou be in the field. Who was in the cotton fields, in the tobacco fields, in the sugarcane fields? We was. The Chinese people wasn't there. The Japanese people wasn't there. White people wasn't there. So this is not being addressed to those people. It's only one nation of people.
They forced it to get beat up.
It's only one nation of people that can claim this happened to them. I'm gonna go to verse 32. Thy sons and thy daughters, thy sons and thy daughters shall be given unto another people. Thy sons and thy daughters shall be given unto another people. Who did that happen to? 35, 45, 100 sold to Master Johnson down in Charleston, Virginia. Who? The slave trade. Our sons and daughters was taken and given to other people. That didn't happen to the white people. That didn't happen to the Asian people. That didn't happen to the Japanese people. That didn't happen to the Africans.
They didn't feed their babies to the alligators.
That didn't happen to the Africans.
They used to feed our black babies to get alligators.
Yeah, it was called gator bait. It was gator bait. They used our children as bait for alligators. That didn't happen to the so-called white man, to the so-called Asian man. I say so-called because that's not really who they are according to the scriptures. So let me finish that. And thine eyes shall look and fail with longing for them all the day long, and there shall be no might in thine hand. Remember when you see the movie Roots? Remember when they took Kizzy and they were selling her to another plantation? How Punta Kinte and the mama was crying and yelling, and the thing just kept. That's what God is talking about. Your eyes gonna look with failing, because there's gonna be nothing you can do. He said, and there shall be no might in thy hand. What he means by no might in your hand is you have no military might. You'll have no financial might. You'll have no political might in which to retrieve your children out of slavery. That's why we was here for 400 plus years. Okay, we still here in this moment. I'm gonna jump down to verse 48. Therefore shalt thou serve thine enemies. Oh, wait a minute. We can't skip that word right there. Oh, wait a minute. He said, and therefore thou shalt serve thine enemies, which the Lord shall send against thee. So God did that. People wonder why, how could the slave trade commence and be as successful as it was? You got to remember, trading slaves back then was like selling oil today. It was the biggest commodity on the market. Slaves was for hundreds of years. Okay? Therefore shalt thou serve thy enemies, which the Lord shall send against thee. God sent them people against thee. And hunger. Who you got to go when you get hungry? Who you go buy your food from? Who owns McDonald's? Who owns Safeway? Who owns Whole Foods? And hunger. When you get hungry, you got to go to your enemies to get your food. God told you who they was. He didn't say they was your friends. No, they don't. Yes, he will. Okay, if they do, I'll catch it. Hold that thought, demon. I'm gonna hold them demons. Hold on. Okay. We gotta hold them demons back. And hunger and in thirst. Who you pay your water bill to? In thirst. And in nakedness. Who own the textile mills that make our clothes? We don't own those things. And in nakedness. And in want of all things. That's the crazy part about it. God says in want of all things. That means from a birth certificate to a death certificate and everything in between. Anything that you wanted, you're going to have to go to your enemies, which we described in the first sentence. Your enemies to get it. Okay? And he shall put a yoke of iron upon thy neck until he have destroyed thee.
Slaves, chains, shackles. You already know.
Y'all heard the man.
Does that fit every nation on the planet?
They only happen to us.
That only happened to us.
Y'all heard the man.
Therefore, this Bible is addressing who? A certain particular people on the planet. It's addressing a particular people. Let's see what God said about those people. Matter of fact, let me get this before I switch lanes. And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt. Egypt in the Bible is synonymous with slavery. Let's get that.
Oh yeah.
Let's get that. Because the Bible says to read it precept upon precept. Prove all things, as it says in 1 Thessalonians 5 and 21. This is the book of Exodus, chapter 20, verse 22. You see? I am the Lord thy God, which have brought thee out of the land of Egypt, out of the house of bondage. Egypt is synonymous with bondage or slavery. So when he says right here in verse 68, Deuteronomy 28:68, and the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt, into bondage, into slavery, again with ships. How did our foremothers and forefathers get here?
Yep, ships.
By way of ships. He said he's going to send us back into slavery in ships. That only happens when one particular people on the planet can raise their hand and say, hey, I'm the children of those people. That means God is addressing us. He's not addressing everybody.
Loud ass bus coming through. Kids getting off to school early morning.
I ain't mean y'all said she like she was built to do backyard wrestling.
Huh?
She said she was built to do backyard wrestling.
Damn.
Like, we had the double team ass. Yeah, that's it. She be like the
I clapped them though.
brave little toaster.
Control that demon. Hold on.
I clapped him.
God didn't say nothing about it. Thou shalt not say that I look like.
He said thou shalt not sleep with thy enemies.
With that,
stick to your nation.
I said she like a wrestler. Ain't nobody trying to sleep with Nacho Libre.
Ain't nobody trying to sleep with Nacho Libre.
Yeah, man. Not Nacho Libre. Okay, hold on. Verse 68. And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships, by the way whereof I spake unto thee. He's saying, by the way whereof I spake unto thee. In where I spoke to Moses, Noah, Abraham.
That's Nacho Libre right there.
Nacho Libre, y'all. Moses, Noah, Job. You know what I'm saying? Where he spoke to the prophets, Jesus, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Where he spoke to our forefathers, Habakkuk, Nahum, all them, Amos.
We're gonna be driving Teslas in the new world, bitch ass nigga.
Yeah, we is. So I'm finna get one of my losses. Hold on. Thou shalt see it no more again. We'll never see that place again. And we've never been back to where they brought us from.
Yep.
We've never been back to that place again. He said, thou shalt see it
no
no more again.
Hold
on, wait, hold on. Time out.
No. I was going to say something.
And there, he said, thou shalt see it no more again. And there, and when you get there, when you get to that place, he says, and there, thou shalt be sold unto your enemies. There's that word again. Who sold us over here? So who is God calling these people?